Welcome to, I believe it's episode 44. God damn. Today's a bit of a different episode. I'm gonna go inside because it's too hot. But it's a bit of a different episode today. It's gonna be a bit of a check-in because I feel like it's needed. Something that I've noticed a lot with kind of people getting into this industry is that they kind of forget the headspace that's required to win. It's very easy to start something new with an excitement, but eventually that excitement is going to die down. And what do you do then? A lot of people, what happens is when that excitement dies, they're way more likely to quit. And that is why I'm making this video, because I want to ensure that you guys do not quit. If you go back right to the beginning of this, I mentioned to you guys, this is gonna be a process. You have to dedicate 6 months of your life to this. And if you do, you will see success. I can promise you that. If you show up like the version that has already achieved your goals, in the way that you act, the way that you behave, the way you surround yourself with the right people, and your environment, most importantly, you can be anywhere you wanna be in the next 6 months. But it is about committing to something. So today, I want to basically cover how to kind of overcome failure, I guess you could say, and why it is so important to kind of adapt and manage our mindset to see success, whether it's in this for the next 6 months, the 6 months after that, the 6 months after that, because your mindset is the thing that will determine whether you see success or not. It's that simple. So, firstly, why do mindset slips happen? Well, like we said, you start excited, motivated, but then that goes and comfort starts to creep in. You lose potentially, you send a few DMs to land roles. You don't get a response. That can, the way you look at it can kill your momentum. You could land a couple interviews, land a couple roles. That can cause complacency. You can close a couple deals. That can cause complacency too, right? If you're not actively managing your mindset, the kind of, your results will tank, quite simply, right? I've experienced this firsthand multiple times, which is why I'm creating this video, because I want you to be aware that this happens. It's that inner bitch in your head that is going to try and talk you out of it, bring you down, say that you need to do something else, say to you that you need to, go back to that 9 to 5 where it's comfortable. It's gonna happen. I'm letting you know right now, it is going to happen. So you have to manage it, because otherwise your results are just simply gonna tank. So here are a few signs to kind of be aware of that you've kind of checked out with your mindset. If you feel like you're kind of just going through the motions, rather than kind of just showing up with the right intention, showing up with the intent to win, the intent to destroy, the intent to make money, and the intent to, make money with the thought of why you're wanting to do it, most importantly. The why that is behind it all, that anchor. You want to look after your family. Maybe you want to live on a ranch one day, right? Maybe you want to create generational wealth. I know that word is thrown out a lot, but if you're young, by the time you're 70, you can definitely create generational wealth. You could even do that in the next 5 years if you play your cards right, but it isn't common to do that. You need to avoid, listening to that uncomfortable voice, if that makes sense, right? The sign that you've checked out mentally is you will start avoiding doing the role plays. You will start avoiding doing the call reviews. You will start avoiding booking your own calls if you're closing. You will stop showing up in the right way because it feels uncomfortable. It feels like, you shouldn't be doing it. There's something wrong. maybe sending an outreach video, whatever it is. It just feels uncomfortable. And you can either choose to listen to it, or you can choose to say, shut up, little inner bitch. Let's get to work. Okay. One of the biggest things I see in sales is people making excuses about lead quality before looking at your own performance. Now, caveat, lead quality can play a massive difference. Of course it can. If you're talking to a bunch of people who are financially unqualified all the time and who, don't even want what you're selling, then obviously that's hard. But you should always look internally. What can you be doing better? Can you be doing more role plays? Can you be doing more calling of leads? Can you be DMing more leads to book them into meetings? What can you be doing? Take control. If you've clocked out, you're externalizing things. If something goes wrong and you blame it on something else, that is a sign that you've clocked out, and you need to remind yourself, your mindset, you need to put it back into check. And remind yourself why you're doing this, remind yourself the path you're on. On top of that, another sign is that you're kind of waiting for opportunities to land on your lap. There's this saying which is like, no one's gonna do it for you, no one's coming to save you. I feel like that gets kind of twisted, because I think everyone knows that no one is coming to provide you with opportunities. But what I think it means is, no one's coming to save you from yourself. You are your own worst enemy. You are with yourself all the time. And you can't do anything about that. So it's important that we manage that, because it's part of the human brain. It's like, it wants the easy way. It wants the risk-free way. Because since we were cavemen, going back thousands and hundreds of millions of years, our brains were taught fear is bad, risk is bad, because if we took risks, if we were dealing with fear, we were more likely to die. So obviously now we live in a very different world, but those primitive instincts are still there. And then that's why I think no one's coming to save you from yourself, because you have those primitive instincts. We all do. It's just, do you listen to them or not? Then you need to ask yourself every single day to kind of check in with yourself and to really understand where you are. Am I chasing, to win? Am I chasing to become a master at this skill, to then use that skill to become a master at business? Or am I just playing this game for a paycheck? $2,000 here and there, $3,000 here and there. Why am I doing this? What am I chasing? Then a great question to ask yourself, would I hire myself? Right? If I had a business, would I hire myself based off of what I've done today? Really reflecting and asking yourself these questions when you notice these signs that I've mentioned, right? Did I put at least one uncomfortable rep in today? Did I ask for feedback? Did I, dial someone? Did I follow up with someone that I thought was not gonna ever close? Did I do something that made me uncomfortable today with what I'm chasing, right? I think you should always try and do one uncomfortable task a day. Whether it's a 10-kilometer run, or whether it's something uncomfortable like calling people, right? When you don't want to. You need to teach yourself and build the habit and the mental feedback loop that when you feel that uncomfortability, it doesn't faze you. What it actually does is it doesn't demotivate you from doing anything. It actually allows you to push. When you feel uncomfortable and you push, and you teach yourself that feedback loop and that habit, that when you feel uncomfortable, you push and you go for it, you can turn into an absolute machine. I've seen it firsthand many times. Then, once you have kind of asked yourself those questions, so we know why, to kind of recap a little bit. So we know why mindset is so important. It can throw us off at any point, it can make us complacent after wins. After we face rejection, it can throw us off course. We know how to spot if we are kind of falling, if we are not right up here. Then we also know the questions to ask ourselves as well, to kind of deal with that and really reflect on it. And then finally, it's about, okay, let's rebuild it here. Let's bring it back. Let's bring back the killer that was in here, right? So we ask ourselves, environment, removing distractions, apps, phones. You need to be in a space that feels like a workplace. You should never work in your bedroom unless you literally have to, but I don't think you do. You can go to a coffee shop, you can go to a cafe, whatever. You should never work in your bedroom. You should never work where you used to play video games as a kid. You should never work where you have like distractions around you, whatever it may be. You should work somewhere with zero distractions, limited social media time, and really just set yourself up for success by making yourself literally have no other option but to work. Then, routine, right? We need to look at the routine that we have and build a routine. What time are we waking up? What time are we going to sleep? What time are we doing call reviews? What time are we doing role plays? What time are we doing sales calls? Non-negotiable to have a routine. I have a routine out here in Portugal. I wake up early. I play tennis first thing in the morning. I have a little something to eat and drink. Then I have calls. Then I have lunch. Then I have a couple more calls. Then I'm done for the day. I finish early. Finish around 3:30, 4. Right? Because I'm enjoying myself. Right? But a routine is crucial because, again, it's how you build those habits, those feedback loops. Then we need to bring in competition into our life. The best way to have a killer mindset is to compete with other people. That is why my clients, I provide them with a community, right? Because they can see all the other people doing $1,000 days, $5,000 days. And whether they've just come in or they've been there for a while, they see that. And that grinds their gears because they know those people who are winning are no different to them. And that competitiveness is going to push you. It's going to hold you accountable because it's going to show you, okay, wow, these are the standards and I'm just not up to scratch. I need to fix up. And I'm going to perform now. I'm going to compete now. And I'm going to win now. Most importantly, right? Competition, friendly competition, most importantly, is one of the most psychological, it's the most beneficial thing that you can have. Because as humans, we are competitive, right? And if you are competitive, you will love sales as well. If you ever played card games, video games, whatever, and you got angry when you lost, you will be good at sales. And you'll be a killer at sales. Then, how do we keep this mindset consistent? And it's important to be very clear on your why. And I'm a very big believer in visualization. Not because it's going to manifest things into your life or whatever. I believe in visualization because it acts as a reminder of your why you're doing this. If you go into a room, just yourself and your thoughts, and you just think about the life that you want, and you believe that you're gonna live, and that you know you're gonna live, and you just think about it for 5 minutes, you'll come out of that room fired up, ready to do anything. because you're reminding yourself why you're doing it. And that's so powerful. Picture your future self, where they're at. And then reverse engineer, right? Reverse engineer getting there by living the way that that person's achieved their goals. It's your identity. Live right now with the identity of the person you want to be. The best advice. I've spoken about this many times. I've said that many times. High ticket sales, it's performance based. So you need to manage your mindset. Top level athletes, performance based athletes, they have performance based bonuses. You'll have players who season after season do unbelievable. And then you have players who are like this. And I can tell you the reason they're down, it's either because they're injured or it's their mental block. There's mental blocks going on in their head, right? The players and the athletes who feel most confident in themselves, their abilities, why they're doing it, they're chasing that gold, that trophy. They're reminding themselves of that every day. Those are the ones that will see success. And it's not the ones that are telling themselves that. It's the ones that truly believe it at their core. Because you have some people, and you will notice this as well, and that's something that, it's important to work on. Do you really believe that you can see success? Like, truly, do you believe it to your core? Or is there some part of your subconscious mind that doesn't believe it's true and doesn't believe it's possible? Because if that is in there, that's part of your subconscious that doesn't believe it's possible, you won't make it. I mean, you could see success for sure, but it won't be the success that you're envisioning because part of you doesn't believe that it's even possible. And that is like scary. And it's about providing yourself with that confidence, that proof that you are good enough by showing up every day, surrounding yourself with killers, holding yourself accountable to the standards of that future self that you want to be, and implementing the habits that are necessary to achieve them. And as closers, you get paid for your results, and the mental edge, the mindset edge that you have is gonna get you faster to your goal than any script, any tactic, anything. It's how you view yourself, right? A great book that I would recommend to you guys, 2 great books, Psycho-Cybernetics and Reality Transurfing. These 2 books are unbelievable when it comes to mindset, because it actually explains it in a way that allows you to understand its importance and how to improve it and what to do. It shows you everything. And if you live your life according to those 2 books every day, you can see so much success. So this has been a little check-in. It's a little bit different, but I wanted to check in with you guys because at this point, you've gone through all the material potentially. You should have. And there might be like doubt creeping in or whatever. And I just want to say, like, it's normal, but you have to shut it up. And this whole video is to show you how to spot it in the future and how to deal with it. So if you have any moments of doubt, ask yourself those questions, create that plan around your environment, the competitors, everything, and you'll be golden. I'll catch you guys in the next one.